So today we're working on a 2011 MacBook Pro 15-inch. Quite often I get customers who want to bring me their logic boards and they tell me exactly what they want done to the logic board, which does two things. For starters, it's self-diagnosis by the customer, which means that if the computer doesn't work after me changing the component that they specify me to change, then it's not my fault. So I get a lot of customers with technicians who think they know exactly what they're doing, and they say, Joe, this is what I want you to do. I want you to change the LCD connector, and that's it. Regardless if I see any other problems, I may mention it to them. Most of the times I just leave it because of a self-diagnosis. So we'll get straight into it. We're going to remove this old connector. I've still got quite a sore hand. Okay, so we've got all our audio station and stuff all heating up. So what I want to do first is remove this fan. The reason why we remove a fan is because it's designed to dissipate heat, and it's also connected up to this big heat sink here. Ideally you want to remove the heat sink as well, because that will actually transfer heat, and you want, when you heat something up, you want it to get hot really fast. Okay, so our irons are heating up right now, so we're just basically going to burn this connector off. We don't care if it lasts. I'm not even going to worry too much about flux. I can tell that this LVDS connector has been installed by someone else, so it's not something that, not the sort of job that we would do by any means. And it's not held factory as well, so this will come off quite easily. Yeah. Always make sure you've got extraction, because this stuff really stinks. And there's the old connector there. Okay. So we'll just put this old connector right down there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean off this area. To do that, we're going to use a bit of wick. I'm going to use my hoofed tip. So this is a hoof tip here. Let's see if we can get a good image of that. So that's a hoof tip, so it's a bit like a hoof from a horse or from a cow. It stores solder inside the hoof itself. So if you're trying to clean areas of a logic board, this can actually come in handy. So we'll get straight to it. We've tipped on. And we've got our wick here. And we're just going to use this to kind of soak up all of this stuff here. So this LVDS connector has definitely been replaced by somebody else, but I don't ask questions when another technician tells me um, or asks me exactly what they want me to do. So we're going to get all this leaded solder off. I should say lead-free solder. So lead-free solder has, I think it has more zinc or more tin inside it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Next thing we'll do is we will clean that off. A little bit of spray. So this is just isopropyl alcohol, about 99%. When we clean up, we just roll the Q-tip or cotton bud, whatever you want to call it. And just get it all nice and clean. Last thing you want is fibres or dirt or crud getting into your nice new solder job. And it also looks nice for the camera as well. For those of you who are just learning how to do this stuff, some of my students. They have seen me doing this without cleaning it. I really can do this more for the camera, nothing else. Okay, so that's pretty clean. Alright. Get it connected. Yeah, so this job shouldn't take long at all. Ideally, if you're doing this for the first time, I would expect to spend no longer than 5 minutes doing this. don't want to spend too much time with your heat on anyway. So that's just falling on the ground. Okay, so here's our new connector. We'll line it up in place. So the key here is to get this thing on with as little heat as possible, as little time on as possible. So this does not have the guide hole. It has to be lined up manually, which is a bit of a pain. What can you do? Okay. So we just want to worry about these two anchor pins here. One there and one there. I'm going to use my blade tip. Just like so. Make sure that that's lined up nicely. We'll actually change. Select the poofy tip away. We'll go back to our curvy tip. Let's give this one a go. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to add flux to the rest of these pins. Okay, so we get a little bit of a bridge. It's not too bad though. Just right there. When we add flux, it allows the solder to flow. So that bridge is taken away almost straight away. Okay. So those pins are all connected now. We're going to come along with our knife tip, and we're just going to flow a little bit of solder on each end of this ground here. So again, just a little bit of flux on the end there. So just a tiny bit here. Just going to sweat a little bit down the bottom there. Not too much at all. Back to our knife tip. Just a tiny bit is needed here. Just right there. That's it. We'll just get some more isopropyl alcohol. Again, we'll just use the same rolling action to minimise the amount of fibres that are left behind. Not that it really matters if we stick this into the ultrasonic machine, but I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do that, especially with these self-diagnosis ones. My clients usually have their own ultrasonic machines. We'll get a towel to wipe it up. And that, my friends, is how you replace a 32-pin LVDS connector in a short amount of time. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Have a good evening, guys.